Hi, welcome to your channel. Today is the second day of the 12th chapter, that is how to franchise yourself. Let's start partnership, how 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. One path to franchising yourself is to team up with a trusted partner. This doesn't mean you completely merge your business with that person. In fact, the easiest and most common way to partner with someone is to create a joint venture. In this arrangement, two or more people join forces to collaborate on a single new project. In other arrangements, an all new business is created that is jointly owned by the partners. That's what Patrick McCarran and Rich Strauss did. They were both high-end performance coaches for athletes and decided to team up to create Endurance Nation, a training program and community for triathletes. They divided responsibilities on the basis of what they are each good at. Patrick calls all the new members on the phone to welcome them and Rich crafts an online training plan for them. However, it's structured. The goal of a partnership is to grow beyond what each person can create on his or her own. Ralph Hildebrandt operates an international professional services firm based in Stuttgart, Germany. Here's how he explains why 1 plus 1 can equal 3. My rule of thumb is that a successful partnership or any type of collaboration should create a combined business which is at least 33% larger than the sum of what the two individuals would achieve on their own. People are often inclined inclined to think that distributing work to a few others is what partnership is about. Ralph continued, but that is just subcontracting. True partnership must create more than just a divided list of tasks. Courtesy of Pamela Slim, a coach, author, and expert on partnerships, here's an abbreviated list of decisions you should make at the beginning for any joint venture. How will the money be divided? Common splits include an even 50-50, 60-40, with the higher share going to the partner who does more work, and 45-45 with 10% reserved for administrative costs. What are the responsibilities for each partner? What kind of information is shared between partners? How will the project will jointly marketed? How long will our agreement be in place? How often will we touch base to discuss the partnership? Check out the one-page partnership agreement for a simple way to spell out basic agreements between two parties. One-page partnership agreement. Keep it smile. Keep it simple. Remember that the relationship is the most important part. Choosing to keep it strong and trusting is more important than having the right clauses and legal language. Many of our subjects report doing business for large amount of money on a long-term basis without any contracts at all. Here's a starting point. You should consult a qualified third party if you would like to define your obligations more clearly, or if you are concerned about some things. Partners. Partner 1 and Partner 2, these partners agree to collaborate in good faith on a mutually beneficial project known as project name. Overview. Summary of project including outcomes and expected results. Revenue sharing. Net income for the project will be split on the basis of percent to partner 1 and percent to partner 2. All minor costs associated with the project will be deducted prior to calculating net income. If any particular cost exceeds amount, both partners must approve the decision. Life of revenue sharing agreement. The revenue sharing agreement will last for period of time at the end of which the partners will decide if it should be continued, discontinued or revised. Publication and sale. The project will be offered for sale on websites and any other sources. Customer support. Partner 1 will be responsible for duties, partner 2 will be responsible for duties. Project feedback from customers will be shared between both parties. Marketing. Both parties will actively market the project to ensure its success. This will include promotion on websites through each partner's online community and offline networks, and each party requesting coverage of the project from other influential websites. Timeline. The partners agree to complete all aspects of the project to prepare for launch on date. The battle of outsourcing. Jamila Azwell followed a common path after graduating from art school. She waited tables in New York City while dreaming of something else. Fortunately, waiting on tables was the only waiting she did. She also took action to start a business. She started by making outlandish handbags and unique wallets. I was convinced I would magically become an accessories store overnight. She says, initially assuming that a fashion house would see her products and offer to distribute them. Then I saw I could actually sell my handbags and wallets myself. That's when I decided to pursue the opportunity further. Jamila headed west to Los Angeles to sell her accessories full time without relying on a waitress job to pay the bills. This time it worked, but only just barely. She did everything herself, and the business struggled to find its feet. She was glad she no longer waited tables, but as with buying someone else's franchise, Jamila felt like she bought herself a job. 3 years in, Jamila was ready to make a change. She had a local seamstress to make the product under her supervision, a move she describes as challenging but necessary. After that, she brought in someone to do the printing and shipping as well. This was a big step that required a brutal process of trial and error. But getting the product out of my home office and incredibly liberating. It felt like my child was finally old enough to go off on boarding school or something. Interestingly, this perspective is not universally accepted. Several other topics covered in the study resulted in a wave of similar responses. Many members of our group spoke of bootstrapping and limited business plans in the same way, and the connection between freedom and value a key theme for almost everyone. But there was one topic that resulted in a wave of divergent opinions. That topic was employing contractors or virtual assistants, also known as outsourcing. On this topic, input ranged from love it or hate it to it's complicated. For every story like Jamila's that told a partnership leading to freedom, I heard a contrasting story from someone who was much happier deliberately keeping the business of themselves without outsourcing or hiring. Let's look at a few examples of our different camps. Case 1, Pro outsourcing. The camp in favor of outsourcing can be represented with the following statements from business owners who came to know their release from task and responsibility as a freeing decision. Hiring employees was my biggest challenge as a business owner. I put it off for years and turned away tens of thousands of dollars each year because I was afraid to grow. Finally, I realized that I had hit a ceiling. I couldn't make any more money without bringing some members to my team. Since changing the structure, I am able to accept all of the orders I had to turn away. I am no longer overbooked and I can invest extra time in moving the business forward in other aspects. Do I wish I could do it all myself? I used to because I don't like to lead or be led. I don't like to feel like the boss, but I am so much happier now as part of a team. I am the pilot of my business, and my crew is there to make my work easier while fulfilling their own goals as well. Megan Hunt. Our aim has always been to have zero employees in order to avoid the expenses, complex legal issues, and inflexibility. However, our warehousing operation is completely contracted out. All stock receipts, storage, processing, pick, pack, and dispatch is taken care of by our logistics partners. We just send the orders. We use freelance sales agent. We are paid on commission only, or who are paid on commissions only. We use virtual assistants for telephone answering when we are unavailable. Jonathan Inca. We contracted with an outside printer to make our first run of maps, and it was the best decision we have ever made. Our business would literally not exist if we had tried to print the maps on our own. As demand has increased, our printers have been able to provide us with additional inventory. We never would have been able to print large quantities of posters while maintaining our full-time jobs and tending to growing business. We are also happy that our business can support the work on other artisans. Jane Adrian and Omar Nouri. These quotes are representative of others who have all said similar things. Outsourcing increases freedom and allows a business to scale without the owners doing everything themselves. Case 2. Anti outsourcing. The camp opposed to outsourcing can be represented with the following statements from business owners who believed that expansion would be difficult, undesirable, or otherwise limiting of the freedom they had achieved through the business. I am at the point where I need to find a way to grow my ability to respond to customer demand, but I struggle with concerns our reputation to the extent that I turn over bookings to employees or contractors. I have been offered partnerships, but I turn them down because either I have concerns over the quality of the partner or because the partner wants referral commissions. I could easily raise my price and provide the commission, but I know I want to be happy working for less, and thus I haven't grown further. Though I am comfortable with that for now. Gary Leaf. I actually prefer not to work with contractors, employees, or assistants. My business succeeds on the fact that is intentionally small. I can fit my whole business into a backpack and take it wherever I go. No office, no stationery, no administrative staff. Keeping my overhead to zero has lowered the risks and kept profits high. Adam Westbrook. I am big on keeping the company lean and mean. I am the only employee and I work out of my home. We used to own a retail business where paying rent, insurance, and 12 employees came ahead of our own paychecks. Those days are over. Simply put, I don't like getting paid last. Jaden here. My experiences with outsourcing work to remote contractors left me spending nearly as much time managing the work as it would actually do it myself. I have yet to find a nice balance of being able to hire someone to work on a project and making a reasonable profit without spending too much time on it myself. Andy Dunn. My motto: never have a boss and never be a boss. Since age 22, this has been my situation. I have an accountant because number crunching is my biggest weakness. Otherwise, I am a company of one. I can always vouch for my own work, and my integrity means the world to me. Brandy Azerbaijan. As with the pro outsourcing camp, these quotes are representative of many others. Lee Williams Deming mentioned that her importing business formerly had 5 employees and hundreds of overseas suppliers. It now has only one employee and a smaller supplier network. Trust me, she wrote in an email, we are better off in every way with a much smaller team. Although I know it's not the best fit for everyone, I tend to fall into the anti outsourcing camp in my own business. Instead of sending out projects to everywhere, I have chosen to keep a very small team and do only limited contracting with outsiders. The first argument for outsourcing is that it allows you as a business owner to do more of what you love while assigning unwanted tasks to someone else. But outsourcing can create greater problems, and you can construct your business in a way in which few of these tasks are actually needed in the first place. More than once, I have heard from colleagues who say they have a fantastic virtual assistant they would be happy to recommend to me. Then, weeks or months later, I hear they are looking for a new one. What happened to so and so? I ask. Well, they are they were great at first, but then the process broke down, balls were dropped, and we had to part ways. This is a recurring story told many ways, but with the same end result. There are certainly exceptions, but many capable people who work as virtual assistants often end up deciding they would rather be running their own show. If you have to spend your time correcting problems caused by the team created to support you, the team has really improved your life. Meanwhile, it's clear that others have definitely benefited from harassing the get other people to do your stuff have waived. With such divergent opinions, how do you know which path to follow? Thankfully, it's not that complicated. The answer to the question of whether outsourcing is a good fit depends on two things. Number one, the specific business, and number two, the personality of the business owner. Many of the problems people experience with outsourcing on, on both sides can be avoided by having a clear understanding of the responsibilities that your contractor or assistant will have in a business that relies on a series of relatively mindless, repetitive tasks. For example, outsourcing may be a good option. A business that relies on customer relationships, however, may not be a good fit. Your own personality also matters because if you are building a freedom business, you want to find the best possibility solution to match your vision of freedom. For some people, that involves traveling the world on a low overhead operation with the money from the business primarily going to support the owner. Other people want to stay in one place and build a team, creating a business that will outlast themselves. In the end, the best answer to the outsourcing question is the same as many others. Do what makes sense for you, not for someone else. Okay? In the next session, we will start barter, family help, and house cleaning. If you are new on the channel, subscribe the channel and press bell icon so that you will get notification about new video upload. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much.